welcome back to another Best Friends episode. I was just actually looking at Best Friends because I was looking at all my comments, and I noticed someone wanted Best Friends, and I was like, wait, I thought that series was over, and then I came to look, and it was not over, and I in fact put part 7 as part 5, which was, no, it was only part 5, which I don't know why I put that as 7, probably looking at something I was not, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to read the next 2 chapters of Best Friend, so I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys after in the outro. So I love you. Bye-bye. I let out a frustrated sigh, plopping on Kenny's bed. Why can't boys just take no for an answer? Like, how hard is it to respect a girl's wants? Kenny chuckled, sitting near her on the bed. We are dumb creatures. You're not dumb. Wyan placed a hand against Kenny's cheek, smiling softly at him. You're respectful. Kenny places his hand over Wyan, smiling at her. You make me want to be a better man, so I can take care of you for the rest of our lives. And maybe one day, start a family with you. Wyan smiles at the thought of spending the rest of her life with Kenny. How cute a mini version of Kenny and her would be. Her face suddenly goes flushed at the thought of how procreation works. Kenny smirks at Wyan's frustrated, flushed face, teasing her. Thinking about me in dirty ways, sweetheart. Wyan decides at that moment she wants to be bold and tease Kenny back. He's already making flirty jokes that make her flustered and embarrassed. She wants to turn the tables on him, give him a taste of his own medicine. Wyan moves in front of Kenny, resting one hand between his legs, close to his crotch, and looking up at him with her through her eyelashes. So what if I am? Kenny's breath hitches, not expecting Wyan to flirt back. From the angle he is sitting, he can see down her shirt a bit, giving him a good look at her cleavage. He could feel the blood rushing downwards as his cock twitched. Shit. Kenny, you okay? Wyan sits up normally, confused by her boyfriend suddenly acting strange. Yep, I'm perfect. I just, gotta use the bathroom. Wyan's brow furrows at the strange behavior before it clicks. Her eyes sharpen, being locked on Kenny's face to his crotch. She can see the tent in his pants forming, and now she feels bad. She just wanted to tease him a little bit, not get him hard. Sorry, I didn't mean to go that far. I just wanted to tease you a little. Wyan's eyes are swimming with guilt. She seemed to get him hard very easily, and she feels bad. Kenny smiles, knowing it wasn't her intention to get him all worked out. He just can't help it around her. Almost anything she does gets him hard. You're fine. I'll be back in a few minutes. Wyan thinks for a moment. She's too nervous for sex, but she could help him in other ways. He's done so much for her. He deserves a little reward. Wyan grabs his hand. Wait, Kenny, what? Do you, want me to, help you? Wyan awkwardly asked, tucking a few strands of hair behind her ears and looking down. Kenny forgets how to breathe. Did his shy, innocent girlfriend just offer him to help him with his problem? Sure, they've made out and done a lot of touching before, but this is a whole new story. You want to help? Yeah, I caused it. I want to fix it. Are you sure? I don't want you to think you have to do anything like this for me. I want to do this. Kenny nods. Okay. Wyan sinks to her knees on the floor in front of Kenny, slowly reaching her hand out to unbuckle his belt and unzip his pants. Biting her lip, she grabs the top of his boxers but hesitates to pull them down. Kenny brushes Wyan's hair out of her face, catching her attention. He reassures her. You don't have to do anything you aren't ready for. I'm ready. Wyan carefully pulls Kenny's boxers down, letting him free from its confines. Oh my god, I can't fucking read. Confines. Her eyes go wide, staring at Kenny's hardened, throbbing cock. This is her first time seeing it in person. She definitely felt it pressed against her before, but it's bigger than she was expecting. She gulps, thinking about how that will be inside of her one day. Okay, girl. Calm down. She's getting a little too frisky and I don't know how to feel about it. Oh my god. Her underwear gets soaked at the thought. It's big. Kenny smirks, a small chuckle leaving his lips. His ego gets inflated with those two simple words, and seeing her lust fill her eyes, staring at his cock. Use your hands to stroke it up and down. What the Okay. Okay. Wine listens to Kenny's instructions and wraps her hand around him. She glances up to watch Kenny's face. She moves her hand in a slow rhythm to start. After a few moments, she begins to pick up the pace. The look of absolute pleasure and low groans coming from Kenny turns her on, knowing she is the one making him feel like this. She swipes her thumb over the tip, feeling the sticky pre-cum dripping out. She thinks back to all of the things she remembers the girls had told her about giving blowjobs. Her only goal right now is to make Kenny feel good. Make Kenny feel as good as possible. Kenny closes his eyes and leans back on his hands, his head tilted back from pleasure. The way Wine's hands feel around his cock is so good. Just like that, baby. He pans out. Suddenly his eyes snap open at the sight before his knees. He's happy. He's sitting down as his knees would have buckled under him if he was standing. Fuck, YN. Kenny gasps, making eye contact with YN as she licks the base of his cock all the way up to the tip. She takes the tip in her mouth and swirls her tongue around it. Shit, babe. Kenny grabs a fistful of the sheets on the bed, the teasing becoming too much. Wayne finally takes the whole thing in her mouth. Kenny moans at the blissful pleasure. She bobs her head up and down, starting off slow to figure things out. Kenny's hand moves to grab a fistful of Wine's hair. He wasn't expecting her to blow him, just jerk him off. He's trying to not let himself get carried away. He doesn't want to be rough with her the first time, but the way her lips are wrapped around him is driving him crazy. This feels better than he'd ever fantasized, better than he ever felt before. Something about being in love with the person who is giving you pleasure is 100 times better than meaningless sex. Wayne pulls back, making a pop noise when she releases him, giving her mouth a small break. She goes back to using her hand. Her saliva works as a lubricant in her hands, gliding much smoother than before. Does it feel okay? Okay. Fuck, you're doing so good. That feels amazing. Kenny praises. He opens his eyes, staring down at his gorgeous girlfriend and making eye contact. The cute, innocent expression she is wearing while touching him like this has his head spinning. How can she look like this while doing something so dirty? You're fucking incredible. The praise excites YN, and she takes him in her mouth again, this time sucking a little harder and moving a little faster. Kenny's hips buckle at the feeling. His cock hitting the back of her throat. She gags and tears dot her eyes at the unpleasant feeling. She doesn't stop. This is his way of saying she is doing a good job. Without words, she wraps her fingers around the part of him she can't fit in her mouth, stroking him at the same rhythm she's bobbing her head. YN, Kenny says with a deep moan. Yeah, just like that, baby girl. Oh, I don't know about that, Kenny. Can we not? Why I never thought she would have a favorite noise, but hearing Kenny's moans is like music to her ears. It makes her stomach twist and knot. Using her tongue, she presses it against him to add some pressure. Kenny begins pushing Ryan's head down, encouraging her to take him deeper. He is in absolute bliss right now and no longer thinking straight. I'm gonna come, Kenny warns, releasing only moments later. Ryan keeps her mouth sealed shut, catching every last drop of cum. Once his cock stops pulsing in her mouth, she pulls back while keeping her lips tight. She swallows the sticky liquid, not knowing what else to do. You don't have to swallow it. Salty. Ryan complains, her nose scrunches up, not enjoying the taste. Kenny's eyes widen at Ryan swallowing his load, even her nose scrunched up. He finds the action extremely hot. This girl is just full of surprises today. Ryan looks up into Kenny's eyes. Did I do okay? Kenny leans forward, wiping the drool from the corner of her mouth with his thumb and giving her a big grin. You did perfect. Really? Kenny places a kiss on Ryan's lips, reassuring her, yes, sweetheart. I've never felt so good in my life. Fuck, you're amazing. But you've been with lots of girls. No way I did that good. Ryan turns away from Kenny with a pout. She feels slightly insecure at the thought, but knows it's true. He has been with lots of experienced girls who knows how to please a guy. This is the first time and only time being intimate with a boy. Kenny is the first real relationship she's ever been in. No way she could have done better than any of them. Kenny uses his thumb and pointer finger to grab her chin and turn her back to him. He can tell exactly what she's thinking by the look on her face, staring Ryan in the eyes. He reassures her again. You have no idea the things you do to me. No one could ever come close to making me feel the way you do. Experienced or not, you will always be the best. Ryan gets goosebumps, her skin feeling tingly, and a shy smile forming. Oh wait, that's so cute. That's actually adorable. This writer is so good. The tone in Kenny's voice lets her know that he is being serious. She lowers her gaze and bites her lower lip, the knot growing in her stomach. There goes the butterflies. Keep biting that lip like that, and I'll make you feel amazing next. I bet you taste good. Kenny winks and licks his lips, teasing the girl. She can get him worked up over the smallest things, especially when biting her lip. When she's that shy expression, makes him want to pin her down to the bed and take her innocence, hear her scream his name until it's the only one she remembers. Tastes good? Ryan squeaks out, covering her mouth with both hands. Kenny chuckles and kisses her forehead. He pulls his underwear up, not bothering to zip his pants or buckle his belt. I'm only teasing. I won't do anything unless you ask. Ryan furrows her brows, unintentionally voicing her thoughts out loud. But the girls made it seem like guys don't like doing that. What, eating out? Ryan's face flushed. Yeah, that. Making you feel good is the best part. Who told you guys don't like that? Ryan bites her cheek. Bebe and Wendy? Their boyfriends are idiots. Not all guys think that way. Ryan decides to ignore the comment about her brother. Oh, I just realized she just asked Kenny about this because her brother's girlfriend said that he doesn't. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. Really? Yeah. Kenny grabs her hips, pulling her into his lap. leaning down and whispering in her ear, "If you want, I can show you how much I really want to. Please you." Kenny. Wayne feels her wetness growing at the idea of him being between her legs, touching and licking her. What has my life come to? Oh, she looks away as the knot in her stomach gets bigger. She feels embarrassed at how her body is reacting to the idea. Offering to pleasure her boyfriend was already difficult for her, but asking to receive pleasure is a whole different kind of difficult. Wayne frowns, thinking he upset her. "Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable." "You didn't, I just..." Wayne trails off, her legs shifting to trying to get friction against her aching core. While Kenny notices this and begins to feel excited. The idea that he is affecting her the way she does to him almost makes his cock hard again. He doesn't want to pressure her into doing anything, but God, he wants to touch her so fucking bad. He wants to yank down her panties and feel how wet she is for him. Yeah? Wayne feels awkward trying to get her words out. She knows Kenny wants to touch her as much as she wants him to. She can see it in his eyes, which makes her so wet. It drips down her thigh. She swallows hard, moving her fingers to unbutton and unzip her jeans. Kenny's eyes snap down at the movement, waiting for Wayne to say the word. It never comes, though. Instead of using the word, she bites her lip and grabs Kenny's hand, slowly placing it above the waistband of her underwear. She nods her head shyly, giving him permission to touch her. Without hesitation, Kenny slips his hand into her underwear, rubbing over her slick folds. His eyes widened at how soaked she was. Holy shit. The feeling of Kenny rubbing his fingers rubbing slow circles over her clit sends tiny bubbles of pressure throughout her body. Her chest arches against Kenny when he sticks his fingers inside her and starts pumping in and out of her. Her eyes roll back and a deep moan leaves her lips. Kenny. Yes, sweetheart. You like that? Kenny curls his fingers inside her and wipes his thumb across Ryan's clit, hitting the spot that makes her whole body spam. Oh my God, yes! Kenny tangles a hand into Kenny's hair and leans her head against his shoulder, unable to handle the blissful pleasure. She has never felt this way before. Kenny. She places feather-like kisses all over his neck, which quickly turns into sucking and licking at it. Kenny's cock twitches at the sound of Wayne's moaning his name. He wants to bury himself deep inside her drenched pussy so bad. He claimed her as his and ruin her. But as much as he wants to, he doesn't have any condoms, and he's not gonna risk getting her pregnant just because they're horny. You go. See, at least he's smart about it. Instead, he's gonna make her feel so good with his fingers. Her legs gave out. At least he's being safe about it. Hashtag you go Kenny. Always have safe intercourse. Especially, like, I'm not indulging it. Don't do it young. It's not a good idea. But if you are going to, always have safe intercourse. W life lesson. It's not worth the risk. Sorry, guys. I was like, okay. Has he apologized yet? Wendy asks. Wayne rolls her eyes. No, he's an idiot. Typical boy behavior. Bebe chimes in. They can't even do the bare minimum. It's Monday afternoon, and school just let out. It's been 2 days since Wayne told her brother she was no longer be on speaking terms with him if he didn't start being nicer to Kenny. She was serious about it, and Stan hadn't tried apologizing to Kenny at all. If anything, Stan had been worse to Kenny since then. Ryan spins the lock on her locker, pushing away the thought of her brother. Her locker opens, and a small flash of orange catches her attention. A small giggle leaves her lips and picks up at the pickup line written messily on the post-it note that is stuck to her locker door. Are you feeling down? Because I'd happily fill you up. Winky face, your hot boyfriend, heart. Wendy pokes her head around Ryan's shoulder to read the note. Oh my god, that's just like him. A snort of laughter leaves Ryan. She sticks the post-it note on the inside of her binder pocket. So she can see it whenever she opens it. She shoves the binder into her backpack and zips it up before shouldering it. At this point, she didn't care if people found out they were dating. She is sick of holding it, and no matter what, Stan will disapprove of her relationship anyway. Might as well be open about it. Your boyfriend's a pervert. Ryan smiles happily, slamming her locker shut. Yeah, but he's my pervert. Wendy and Bebe share a look, giggling. Bebe asks the question on both the girls' minds. Speaking of Kenny, how did he cheer you up after you two stormed off? Ryan's face flushed at the memory of what Kenny and her did that night. Bebe's eyes lit up at Ryan, stammering, oh my god, did you two... She holds up one finger to make a circle with her thumb and points her finger and uses her pointed finger on the other hand to make a crude gesture. No! Ryan accidentally shouts out, catching the attention of some of the students in the hall. Sorry. Then what? Ryan smirks. Bebe smirks, knowing her friend is no longer as innocent as she was the other day. Ryan gulps, bringing a closed fist to cover her mouth and hide her shy smile. I actually gave him a blowjob, and you gave who a what? The girls freeze at the familiar voice. None of them dared to breathe for a moment. Ryan's shoulders tensed up, and her heart rate speeds up to an unhealthy level. It feels like the blood drained from her body. Oh my fucking god. This is not how I wanted him to find out. Stan! Ryan exclaimed, whipping around to see her brother standing behind him. His face is red with anger and eyebrows furrowed together. I can explain. Yes, please explain who you are messing around with. Behind Stan, Kyle's wide-eyed and unable to process what he had heard come out of Ryan's mouth. It was bad enough hearing Cartman make assumptions about her and Kenny's relationship, but hearing her actually say she sucked Kenny off was much worse, especially since he still isn't completely over her. He respects their relationship, but he doesn't want to hear about what they do behind closed doors. Cartman, on the other hand, is snickering, finding the situation hilarious. $50 says it's Kenny. Eric! Ryan shrieks. The fact that she didn't deny it gave Stan all the evidence he needed. He knew he couldn't be trusted to keep his hands to himself. I'm going to kill him. He takes off down the hall towards Kenny's locker. Oh my god, Stan, no! Kyle grabs Stan's eyebrow. Eyebrow? Oh my god, elbow! Stop it! Elbow stopping him from hunting down Kenny. Whoa, dude, I get you're upset, but we are all in school right now. He tries to reason with Stan. You don't want to get suspended. I don't care. And why are you protecting him? You're supposed to be on my side. Stan barks out. Kyle drops his hand from Stan's elbow and holds both his hands in defense. I'm not protecting him. I'm just saying to keep you out of trouble. While Stan is distracted by Kyle, Ryan sprints down the hall to find Kenny first. It doesn't take long for her to find him chatting with Butters at his locker. Kenny glances at Wyan rushing towards him. Hey, sweetheart, what's with the rush? Wyan wraps her arms around Kenny's waist, burying her face in his chest, hugging him tightly. He returns the hug, now getting worried. Hey, what's up? I'm sorry. We have to leave right now. I didn't realize he was behind me, and I was talking to Wendy and Bebe. He's gonna kill you. Oh, hamburgers. Who's gonna kill Kenny? Butters asked, wide-eyed, fearing for his closest friend's life, ignoring Butters, and only focused on his panicked girlfriend. Slow down. What's going on now? Stan overheard me talking to my friends, and I might have mentioned how I blew you, and he wants to kill you. What does blew you mean? Kenny smirks at how Wyan's face flushed, realizing what she said out loud. It means Wyan sucked on Wyan covers Kenny's mouth with both hands. Shut up! She hissed. Butters thinks for a moment before a light bulb goes over his head. Hanging out with Kenny all these years has ruined his innocence, thinking a bit. Oh, he explains, his face turning red. Does that mean you guys are, dating? Kenny grabs Wyan's waist and gently tugging her hand from his mouth. He plants a kiss on her cheek, not caring about the students in the hallway who can see them. Yep, Wyan's my amazing, beautiful girlfriend. Kenny! Kenny shrugs his shoulders with a teasing smile. What? If Stan knows, then who cares if other people know? Congratulations! Butters smiles brightly. I always thought you two would be good together. Wyan smiles softly. Thank you, Buttercup. Thank you, Buttercup. That means a lot. She turns back to Kenny. Now, we need to go. I'll talk to you later, Leo. Kenny says to his friend before turning back to Wyan. He nods his head in agreement, holding her hand while walking out to his car. Alright, let's go and to your house and we can talk to Stan together. But we can let him cool down first, then talk, okay? Wyan takes a deep breath. She buckles up as Kenny starts driving them towards the middle school to pick up Karen and bring her home first. Okay, I'm just worried about you. I know, sweetheart, but it's gonna happen at some point. Yeah, Wyan agrees. I just hope Stan is willing to listen. Stan paces around the living room, ranting to his friends about the situation. How could he go behind my back like that and mess around with my sister? I told him she's off limits. Cartman stuffs his mouth full of cheesy poofs, cackling to himself. I totally called it, guys. Not helping, Kyle snaps, sick of Cartman's taunting. It's only making the situation worse. He turns back to Stan. Dude, getting pissed off like this isn't gonna help anything. Let them date without breathing down their neck and being overbearing. Why the hell would I do that? Kenny is so whipped for your sister. It has been ever since, middle school. Have you seen the way he treats her? Cartman's right for once. Kyle reluctantly agrees. He's never treated any girl the way he does with Wyan. He's built on dates and hookups for her. Dude, he doesn't do that for anyone. What if it's just an act? What if he just hurts her? She's too trusting and forgiving, Stan argues. Kyle knows how forgiving Wyan can be. She shouldn't have forgiven him for the way he acted the night at Baby's party, yet when he apologized the next day, after he sobered up, she hugged him and told him people make mistakes and deserve to be forgiven. She's the nicest person in South Park, next to Butters. Yeah, she has a heart of gold, but Kenny would never do anything to take advantage of her. Before Stan can argue with Kyle any longer, the front door opens and Wyan sticks her head inside. She flashes the boy a weary smile. There you are. Where the hell have you been? Wyan shrinks back behind the door, her smile dropping into a frown. I don't think he's calmed down yet. Really? He's still being a big baby? Kenny says, poking his head around behind Wyan, the joke making her giggle. Stan knew Wyan went running to protect Kenny, but the fact she brought him home with her pissed him off. Why is he with you? Stan, look, we just want to talk to you. Stan takes a few steps towards the door. He can talk to my fist. That's enough. Kyle snaps, having had enough of all the drama. You, Kyle points at Stan, catching the boy off guard. Sit on the damn couch and be quiet. But Kyle, now. Stan shuts his mouth and sits on the couch beside Cartman, who is enjoying the show. He crosses his arms and glances at the wall. Juan smiles gratefully at Kyle, stepping inside her house. Thanks, Kyle. Kenny follows him behind her, rubbing soothing circles on her back. It took a lot of convincing from Kenny to get Ryan to come home and face her brother. She was ready to spend the night, and possibly a few days, at Kenny's house to avoid her brother, Stan. I'm sorry for keeping this secret from you. Ryan apologizes, her fingers fiddling with each other. How long? Ryan's eyes flicker at Kenny for a moment before coming back to stare at her brother. 3 months? Seriously? Stan can't believe she hid this from him for so long. Of all the people she could have been sneaking around with, it had to be Kenny. He's the biggest player in school. I wanted to tell you sooner, but every time I tried, you would shit-talk Kenny, and I froze up. Kenny feels guilty at seeing his sister look so upset, but he knows Kenny and how he acts with girls. He just can't get the idea of Kenny hurting his sister out of his head. Her just being a statistic in Kenny's sex life. Kenny offers a small smile. Dude, I promise I'll take good care of her. Shut up, Kenny. Stan barks out unintentionally. He didn't mean to get snappy. He isn't interested in listening to Kenny speak right now. He's still too pissed off at the blonde right now. Ryan's eyes narrow at Stan. You know what? Fuck you. Stan's eyes widen at the sharp tone in her voice. Ryan, save it, she hissed out. Like it or not, Kenny's my boyfriend. If you can't be happy and supportive, then we can just go back to not talking again. Wait, Ryan, I'm sorry. Stan practically begs for his forgiveness. He hates when his sister and him fight. They are usually so close, but lately it feels like they've been drifting apart. No, if you want to act like a child, then I'll treat you like one. Kenny's proud of Ryan for standing up for herself and him, but he also hates the idea that he's putting a strain on her relationship with her brother. Ryan smiles sadly at Kenny, ignoring everyone else. Can we... She doesn't finish her question before Kenny responds. Yeah, I'm sure Karen would love having a movie night with you. Ryan nods, sending a glare at her brother, then walking towards the door. Bye, Kyle. Bye, Eric. She purposefully didn't say bye to her brother, and as her and Kenny leave, Stan groans, burying his head in his hands. Fuck. You know, Greg's right. Stan glares at Kyle. How? You pretty much sent her running to Kenny's bed. Stan thinks about the conversation he had a few days ago at Tweak Bros. He grows louder this time. Fuck. Kenny's fucking Stan's sister. Fuck off, fat ass. Hey, don't call me fat hippie. I'm not the one that pissed off that bitch. That's all you. Ugh. Okay, so this is a little cut-in. Since I haven't read this in a while, I'm going to read one more chapter. Also because I'm hooked. But this will be the last chapter before I end the video. Okay, I'm going to get back into it. Yep. Ryan smiles at the reflection in the mirror. Her dress fits perfectly and her hair looks amazing. She readjusts her necklace and adds a silver bracelet to match with it. Ryan, Kenny's here. Sharon shouts up the stairs. Okay, be right down. Ryan double checks to make sure she has everything and nods to herself in the mirror. Let's do this. Ryan makes her way downstairs to be greeted by an embarrassing sight. Randy is standing in front of Kenny with his arms crossed, glaring at the blonde boy. Now listen here, young man. You take good care of my daughter. No funny business. You got that? Keep your hands to yourself. Got it, Mr. Marsh, Kenny says, smiling nervously. Wayne crosses her arms over her chest. Dad, leave him alone. Kenny turns around at the sound of Ryan's voice. Hey, ready to... Kenny freezes at the sight of YN in her dress. She looked much more beautiful in person. His eyes raking up and down her body without any shame. God, you're beautiful. Wine giggles softly, covering her mouth with closed hands, trying to hide her blush. She lets her own eyes string up the side of Kenny in the black suit and pink tie. She has never seen Kenny dressed up like this before, and it's definitely definitely treat. You look very handsome. If her dad wasn't there right now, she would have said something much more sinful. Kenny smirks, stepping forward with a small box in hand. He opens it, revealing a corsage of blue hydrangeas for you. Oh, pretty. Ryan smiles at Kenny, slipping the corsage on her wrists. Wait, I want a picture of you too, Sharon shouts, rushing into the living room with her pants and her pants? Oh! Her phone in hand. You two are the cutest pair of best friends. Ryan frowns, glancing at Kenny. He nods his head with a smile, letting her know she can tell them he is ready whenever she is. Actually, Mom, Dad, there's something we need to tell you. Oh my God, please don't be pregnant. Randy stresses while holding out onto the wall for dear life, looking at like he's about to faint. What? No! Wine exclaims, feeling embarrassed at her dad's words. Kenny's face heats up at the idea. Kenny and I are actually dating. Sharon smiles at her daughter. We know. Wine tilts her head in confusion. You do? Kissing in the car right in front of our house kind of gives it away. Sharon states, smiling at the two. Wait, you knew and you didn't say anything? I wanted you to tell us when you were ready. Sharon explains while Randy mutters curses under his breath. He was ready to shoot the boy when he and Sharon saw the two making out in Kenny's car. But his wife is not letting him do that. Wine gives her mom a huge hug, stepping back next to Kenny to pose for some pictures. Sharon takes one of each of you separately and a few different poses together. You two look great together. I can't wait to post these on Facebook. I'll have them printed off so your mom can have them too, Kenny. Thanks, Mrs. Marsh. Send them to me, please. Wayne opens her message with her daughter to send them right away. Will do. Now you kids run along and don't stay out too late. Wayne says her goodbyes to her parents and slip on her black heels. She walks with Kenny out to his car. Kenny speeds up his pace to get in front of her to open the passenger door. Wyan chuckles, getting into the car and buckling up. Thank you, Ken. Kenny makes his way around the car to his side and gets into the car as well. He buckles up and starts the car. He slides his hand into Wyan's that is lying on her lap, lifting it up and winking at her while kissing her knuckles. You look very sexy in that dress. And you look very hot in your suit. Wyan admits, her face flushed. She opens her messages with her mom, saving all the pictures. She set her favorite one as her new lock screen. Let's just make everyone else jealous at how good we look together. While Kenny focuses on driving, Wyan types out a message to her mom. Mother, is it okay if I spend the night at Wendy's? Promise? Please promise you will use protection. I'm not ready to be a grandma yet. How did you know? I was a teenager once too. I won't tell your father. Promise you'll use a condom. Thanks, Mom. Promise. Reds. 7:49 p.m. Wyan bites the inside of her cheek, realizing her mom is a whole lot smarter than she originally thought. At least she didn't tell Wyan no or freak out. She mentally notes to get her mom something extra special for her birthday this year. Wyan walks into the high school gymnasium with Kenny by her side, their hands still locked and fingers laced. She takes a moment to admire how nice the gym looks. Wow, Wendy and the other community members did amazing with the decorations. Kenny nods in agreement. Yeah. Wendy. Wyan! Wendy tackles the girl into a hug. Hey, Wens. It looks awesome in here. Thank you. The committee members worked really hard. Wendy acknowledges Kenny standing next to them. Hi, Kenny. Hi, Wendy. Where's Stan? Wendy blinks, looking around. He was just here. Way to lose my brother. Ryan jokes, chuckling. She hasn't spoke to Stan unless necessary since the fight, but she wants to keep things civil for tonight. She hopes he has learned his lesson by now. Wendy laughs. I didn't lose him. He lost me. Stan walks up behind his girlfriend with a red Solo cup in hand, Kyle and Cartman walking with him. He glares at Kenny when he sees Kenny and Ryan's interlocked hands. He can't believe these two hid their relationship from him for so long. Here, babe. Thanks, Stan. Wendy accepts the cup. Doesn't your sister look pretty in her dress? Stan smiles at Ryan. Yeah, she looks nicer than normal. Ryan rolls her eyes. Asshole. Stan chuckles at the insult, not taking it to heart. Wow, poor baby actually looks decent for once. Poor boy looks actually decent for once. Cartman snickers to himself. Kenny smirks proudly. At least I have a gorgeous date. Wine flushes slightly. Kenny's showing her off. Hey, I could have gotten a date if I wanted to. I just chose not to take a stupid girl. When he squeezes Kenny's hand. Come on, guys. Let's all just have fun. Agreed. When he cheers, the DJ started playing some really good dance music, catching Ryan and Wendy's attention. Hey, have you guys seen the other girls? Wendy nods, grabbing Ryan's free hand. Yeah, they're all over here. Let's go dance with them. We'll see you later, boys. Ryan hesitates to let go of Kenny's hand. She wants to spend time with him, too. Kenny notices and chuckles. We can hang out and dance together later. Go have fun with your friends. Thank you, Ryan says, finally releasing her hold on Kenny's hand. She waves goodbye at all the boys and follows Ryan into the crowd of people. She glances back at the boys quickly. You think our boyfriends will be okay together? Yeah, I think I set Stan pretty straight in the car, hopefully. Once the girls are out of sight, Stan points an angry finger at Kenny. I'm watching you. Kenny groans nervously, holding his hands up. Kind of gay, but okay. Cartman laughs, finding the joke funny. Stan's gay. No, I'm not. I have a girlfriend, fat ass. It's okay, Stan. You don't need to hide it in the closet. We will all support you. Kenny pats Stan's back. Cartman starts laughing at this even harder. Kyle just shakes his head, half disappointed, half amused. You guys are idiots. Stan smacks Kenny's hand away from him. Fuck off. You guys suck. Come on, Stan. Let's have a good night. You don't want to upset Wendy or Ryan, do you? Kyle nudges Stan, reminding him of the conversation with Wendy in the car. Now be on your best behavior. This is supposed to be a fun night. Stan rolls his eyes. I'm always on my best behavior. Wendy gives him a pointed look. Just leave your sister and Kenny alone. I don't understand why you have such a problem with him. He is one of your friends and her best friend because he is a whore and only going to use her for sex. Wendy cuts Stan off harshly. Stan, Kenny has done so much for Ryan. He's good to her. What? Stan is shocked at hearing his girlfriend's words when he supports the idea of you two dating. But Kenny, he's a really great guy to Ryan. Just watch the way he treats her. You'd be surprised how good he is to her. Stan gives Wendy a look. How's he done the same? He's done the same thing for every girl. How do you know he wouldn't do the same to Ryan? Wendy smiles sweetly. Yes, but your sister is special to him. For me, will you please just be civil tonight and give him a chance? Stan grumbles in response, not happy with the idea. You'll just push Ryan away if you keep acting like this, Wendy warns. This catches Stan's attention. He never thought about it. He didn't want to lose his sister over a stupid boy. Okay, fine. I'll give Kenny a chance, but that doesn't mean I'll like it. Thank you. Stan leans over and places a kiss on Stan's cheek. Stan sighs at the hand running a hand through his hair. Maybe he's just being overprotective. Kenny has been his sister's best friend since preschool. If he didn't care about her, Kenny would have dropped her long ago. Fine. I'm sorry, Kenny. Kenny blinks twice, not expecting that. He smiles after a moment. Happy Stan is finally coming to his senses. It's cool, dude. Don't worry about it. I just care a lot about my sister and don't want anyone to hurt her, especially if I can stop it. Stan explains. You're my friend. I should trust you more. Kenny nods in agreement. I get it. I have a little sister that I care about too. Stan can see how serious Kenny is talking about this. You really care about my sister, don't you? A lovesick smile crosses Kenny's face as he nods. More than anything, she means everything to me. Stan is unsure if this is a good idea, but hearing Kenny's words and seeing that look on his face makes Stan believe him. He has never seen Kenny so serious about a girl. Wendy was right. Stan lets out a soft sigh. He hopes he doesn't regret this. I guess I'll let you keep dating my sister. You guess? Kenny asked. Shut up before I change my mind. Lips are sealed. Kenny pretends to zip his mouth shut. Just don't hurt her and keep your hands off her. Keep your hands to yourself. Got it? Got it. Kenny definitely won't hurt her, but he can't keep the promise on the second part. Not that Stan needs to know that. What he and his girlfriend do behind closed doors, that is only for them in his bed to know. I'm serious, dude. Keep it in your pants. I don't want you to give my sister one of your STDs, or God forbid, knock her up. Kenny narrows his eyes at Stan. Sure, he has a higher body count than he'd like to admit, but he's always used protection. He wanted to keep himself and clean and didn't want to get a girl pregnant. He bites his tongue though, deciding it's none of Stan's business anyways. He doesn't need to know to justify himself. I get it. Don't you trust me? No, I just don't want to lose my sister. If you make her happy, then I won't interfere. That doesn't mean I have to like it. Kenny decides to keep his mouth shut, taking the small win. Wine laughs with Wendy and Nicole, Heidi, her screams singing along, and her scream singing along with the lyrics of the song playing. They are doing silly dances and just enjoying himself. Kenny smiles as he watches his girl having fun with her friends. He walks up behind her and wraps his arms around her waist, pulling her flush against him. Wayne gasps, looking over her shoulder to see her boyfriend. She smiles brightly. Kenny! Hi, sweetheart. You having fun? Mm-hmm. Wayne responds, letting Kenny rock their bodies side to side. Hi, Kenny. Wendy, Heidi, and Nicole greet in unison. They are all smiling at the cute couple. Kenny lifts his hand and waves. Hey, mind if I steal my girl? You can have her. Wendy agrees as she and the other two wave them goodbye. Kenny drags Wyan to a more secluded area so they can chat. So, I got good news. What's that? Stan apologized. Wyan furrows her brows. How did you manage that? Kenny shrugs. No idea. But let's not think too hard about it. Wyan chuckles, happy that her brother finally came to his senses. That makes me really happy. I'm glad. The music cuts out and after the current song ended. Alright everyone, time to slow things down. These next two songs are for all the couples out there. The DJ announced a slow song starting to play as the couples make their way to the dance floor. Kenny holds out a hand to Wyan, catching her attention. Want to dance? Kenny giggles, grabbing Kenny's hand. With you? Yes. Kenny. This is so cute! Kenny grins, dragging Wyan to the dance floor. He puts his hands on her waist, pulling her flush against his chest. She wraps her arms loosely around his neck. Some of their classmates seem confused at the best friends dancing to a slow song together, but brush it off as the two do almost everything together. Wyan stares into Kenny's gorgeous violet eyes. feeling content, she smiles, whispering softly, "I love you, Kenny. I love you too, YN." Kenny leans down, pressing his forehead against hers, their nose brushing. "You think anyone will notice if I kiss you right now?" YN giggled, amused. "I think the whole class would see, but honestly, I don't really care." "Yeah, me either." Kenny leans down, the rest of the way, and kissing YN on the lips. They slowly rock together, to the music, and just enjoying the moment. Wendy smiles as she watches YN and Kenny dance together. Oh, they're so cute together. Who? Glancing over his shoulder in time to see Kenny kiss his sister. YN doesn't push him away and just melts into his kiss. What the fuck? I thought I told him to keep his hands to himself. "Stan, just leave it be," Wendy says, tightening her grip around Stan's neck, keeping them from charging over. "He makes her happy," Stan sighs, knowing his girlfriend is right. As much as he hates the idea, Kenny does take good care of his sister. "Fine, but you better not come crying to me when he breaks her heart." "Ow!" Kenny steps on Stan's foot, effectively shutting him up. "Kenny told me he only slept around with all those girls to try to lose feelings for YN. She's the only girl he seriously wants." "Wait, seriously?" "Mm-hmm. He really truly loves her. He has for a long time." Stan lets the information sink in. Had he really been wrong about Kenny this whole time? Okay, won't bother them anymore. "Good boy," Wendy smiles, says, smiling at her boyfriend, and leans her head into his chest and hums along with the song. Stan kisses her forehead, forgetting about his friend and sister Loki making out behind him. After dancing to a few more songs, Kenny whispers in YN's ear, "You want to get out of here? My parents aren't home tonight, and Karen is at a friend's house. We can hang out before I have to get home." "Why get you home?" YN smiles. She decides to keep her plan for staying the night a secret for now. "Yeah, let's go." Okay, so I might have high-key lied. I'm reading another chapter. I don't even care. I'm actually so into this. But I promise this is the last chapter. Because I want to lead the last few for a few more videos, but since I haven't posted this in a while, and since it's been a while since I've posted a lot of content, even though I just post a new Stan series, which is kind of weird talking about this in this video since we're technically a sister in this video, but I'm just gonna read one more chapter, and this one is explicit with sexual content, so you've been warned. But yes, this is going to be the last chapter before I stop, because this is going to be an hour long, but honestly, I feel like you guys might not mind. So just say this is just a little treat for you guys, because I feel bad for not posting in like 3 or 4 weeks. So, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this last chapter. I was thinking we could watch a movie and make out, Kenny suggests. YN sits on Kenny's bed, fiddling with her fingers nervously for what she's about to do. She has all night to spend with her boyfriend, and she wants to make most of it. "Hey, Kenny." Kenny hums, busy taking his suit jacket off and hanging it up neatly in his closet, unaware of what is happening. When stands up, slowly unzipping the back of her dress. Once unzipped, she lets the strap fall off her shoulders. The dress pulls around her feet on the floor. She tries to stand confidently, like Baby told her, but she just feels embarrassed being this exposed in a boy's room. In Kenny's room, boys love confidence. "Do you need something? Holy shit." Kenny turned to see YN standing behind him in only a matching black lacy bra and panties. He can tell she is trying to look confident, but she looks more shy than anything. His eyes scan over every piece of visible skin, not trying to commit this image to memory. His cock quickly grows hard at the sight. "Wayne, are you trying to tease me?" Wayne feels excited at the way Kenny's eyes rake up and down her body. She knows he has been waiting patiently for this, and she's finally ready to give herself to him. "I'm ready." Wayne looks at Kenny with large, innocent eyes, though they won't be innocent for long. Kenny grows harder at those simple words. He gulps slowly, his eyes stopping at her chest. Are you sure? We've only been together for a few months. I know, but it feels like we've been together way longer than that. I don't want you to feel rushed. I don't feel rushed. I want this. Wine bites her lips. I want you, Kenny. That sends Kenny over the edge. He yanks his tie loose and throws it on the floor. His hands move to work the buttons on his shirt. Wyan feels a slight ache between her legs as Kenny approaches her. He looks at her in a way she hasn't seen before. She can't deny it's really hot. His eyes are full of love and lust. When he reaches her, he drops his shirt on the floor. He pulls her into a passionate kiss, one hand on the back of her head, the other holding her hip. Wyan lifts her head, her hands to run her fingers over Kenny's bare skin. She traces all over his stomach and his chest. The way they brush over his skin softly is getting him worked up. Kenny grabs both of Wyan's hips, spinning them around, sitting them on the bed, pulling her onto his lap so she can straddle his legs. He trails kisses from her chin to her neck, gently sucking and biting. Low moans leave Wyan's lips, her hands buried in Kenny's soft hair. Kenny moves his hands up Wyan's back, stopping at her bra. He hooks his fingers under it, but doesn't unclip it. Kenny pulls back from Wyan's neck and looks her in the eyes. Can I? Wyan nods eagerly. Yes. Kenny fingers fumble with the clasp of her bra, just like the first time he was this close to seeing her boobs. Kenny? Wyan grabs his attention before asking, Are you nervous? He chuckles softly. It's crazy how well you know me sometimes. Wyan's brows furrow together. Why? This isn't your first time. With you it is. Kenny tucks a few strands of hair behind her eyes. I've never felt this way about anyone before. You're the first girl I've actually loved. In a way, it's both our first times. Wyan smiles, glad she isn't the only one nervous. Kenny grins. I want to make sure tonight is special for you. Being with you makes it special. Hearing that, Kenny unclasps Wyan's bra. She lets it fall off her shoulders, letting herself be exposed to him. Kenny smirks at the sight, feeling so lucky that she chose him out of all people. He has seen his fair share of boobs in his life, but these are different. His favorite. Everything about Wyan is his favorite. Wyan crosses her arms over her chest. She has gotten close to letting him see her boobs before, but actually being this exposed is nerve-wracking. Don't hide. You're so beautiful. Kenny gently grabs both of her wrists, kissing each one of them before bringing them up to her hands and resting on his shoulders. He enjoys the sight for another moment before slowly reaching and at a hand and cupping Wyan's breast in his hand. He gives it a small squeeze, then squeezing his thumb around her hardened nipple. Kenny leans forward, putting the other nipple in his mouth, sucking and licking it. Wyan squirms at that new unfamiliar feeling. Her hips rub against Kenny's crotch. His breathing hitches and groans follow. Wyan can feel herself getting wet from the sound, alone, and Tess shifting her hips again. Kenny's breathing gets faster as he moves his lips higher, biting down on soft skin above the hardened bud. Kenny! Wyan moans hard, hands tight on Kenny's shoulders. Her head tilts back from pleasure. Kenny pulls back with a small smirk to admire the reddish mark now forming on her boob. He leaves a few more marks across Wyan's chest and collarbone. Once he had his fun, Wyan picks Wyan up and lays her on her back on the bed. He leans over her, kissing her lips and trailing the kisses down her neck, chest, stomach, stopping just above her panties. He puts his fingers under the waistband of her panties, tugging them a little. I'm gonna take these off now. Is that okay? Wyan shyly nods her head, a knot forming in her stomach from Kenny asking for her consent. It turns her on that he is making sure she is comfortable before taking each new step. Kenny slowly slides the panties down Wyan's legs and throws them with the rest of the pile of clothes, seeing her fully exposed like this is a wet dream come true. Every part of her is so beautiful to him. Kenny stands up to unbuckle his belt and unzips his pants, letting them fall to the floor. Kenny pulls down his boxers next, now being fully naked as well. He smirks at seeing Wyan sit up, eyeing him up and down, studying every inch of his body like he did to her. Like what you see? Wyan squeaks out and turns away, feeling embarrassed for being caught staring so intensely. She only saw his cock when she gave Kenny a blowjob. She didn't get the opportunity to admire his body like this. Kenny chuckles, spreading her legs apart and kneeling between them. He grabs her chin to tilt it back to his face again. No need to be embarrassed. I'm your boyfriend. You're allowed to. You're allowed to stare at me like that. In fact, he licked his lips. I encourage it. Wyan's cheeks heat up as she goes back to staring at her boyfriend. Her eyes widen, wander lower and lower. Again, like what you see. Wyan nods her head at Kenny's question, not trusting her voice. Kenny leans down to kiss her forehead softly. You are adorable. I love you. Wyan smiles bashfully. I love you too. Kenny leans forward, kissing Wyan's lip in a small peck. Lay down. I'm gonna stretch you out so it doesn't hurt so bad. Stretch me out. Sorry, my headset keeps falling. Kenny chuckles at Wyan's confusion. The fact she is still a virgin makes him incredibly happy. He's glad another guy had never touched her before. That only he gets to see her like this. Only he gets to see how warm and wet and tight she is. Yes, sweetheart, it's gonna hurt, but I promise the pleasure you will feel after will be worth it. Do you trust me? Of course I do. Kenny lays down with her head on Kenny's pillow, not wanting to waste a second. She trusts the boy with her entire life. Kenny gives her hand a squeeze. Good. I promise to take good care of you. Wyan smiles at Kenny, watching him stick his thumb in his mouth and sucking it for a moment. When he puts it back out, it's covered in his saliva, and he holds it in front of her clit. Ready? Ready, Wyan confirms. Kenny slips his thumb over Wyan's clit, sending a small wave of pleasure through her body. A small moan leaves her lips when Kenny rubs slowly, gently, gentle circles around her clit, his thumb rubbing over her slick folds. Feeling how wet she is, Kenny smirks, watching Wyan begin to squirm at the feeling. Her reactions are getting him more and more turned on, but he keeps himself composed. He wants to take things slow at first, to make sure Wyan is comfortable and enjoys herself. He can have his fun with her next time. Fuck, you're so wet. Is that good? Wyan biting back a loud moan. Kenny adds his pointer finger, using the wetness to lube it up. Then inserts his finger into her entrance, receiving a breathy moan from the girl. Very good. Wyan moans out, Kenny's fingers inside her, making her body feel tingly. He pumps his fingers in and out, starting to get her prepared soon. A second finger is added along. A tight feeling welling up inside her. This time is different feeling than when Kenny's fingers fingered her for the first time. Wyan grabs his sheets with her hands. Kenny, I feel funny. Sorry, sweetheart, but I need to stretch you out so it doesn't hurt so much. After the third finger is added, Kenny feels she is prepared enough. He pulls his fingers out and licks them clean, enjoying Ryan's shocked face at the action. He reaches for the nightstand drawer, grabbing a condom and a small bottle of lube. He rips the condom open and slides it onto his cock. Opening the bottle of lube, he squirts some in his hand. He puts the bottle back in his nightstand and rubs it over the condom. He lines himself with Ryan's entrance and looks into her eyes. I'm gonna put it in. Oh, it's gonna hurt at first, but I promise the pain won't last long. Ready? I think so, Ryan says, feeling nervous at the idea of Kenny being inside her. Do you want me to stop? Ryan shakes her head. No, I want this. It's just, I'm a little nervous. I've never done this before. Good. Kenny starts rubbing Ryan's outer thigh with his hand. It makes me happy knowing I'm the only guy who will ever get to pleasure of touching you like this. Ryan's whole body heats up at Kenny's words, and she feels her wetness growing. How can he have such an effect on her with his words? I'm ready. Kenny presses a quick kiss on her lips, and he slowly presses himself inside her inch by inch, trying to keep the pain to a minimum. Kenny! Wayne cries out, hands digging into Kenny's biceps, her nails digging into the skin, her eyes becoming glossy, holding back tears. Hurts. Kenny kisses Ryan's forehead. I know, baby. You're doing so well. Just a little more. Once Kenny is fully inside of Ryan, he stays sitting still, letting her adjust to his size. He takes one of his hands and her hands into his and laces their fingers together. Ryan squeezes Kenny's hand, the new feeling being painful, but she knows it won't last forever. It takes a minute, but once the pain starts to subside, she nods her head. Okay. Kenny moves slowly at first, rocking his hips back and forth at a steady pace. He watches Ryan's eyes screw shut, her brows furl together, trying to handle the initial pain. Her hands find themselves now clenching Kenny's forearm. Kenny smiles at how well she is taking it. You're doing great, sweetheart. A loud moan leaves Ryan's lips when the pain starts to completely fade, turning into pure pleasure. The angelic sound causes Kenny to pick up his pace, pounding into her. Her mouth opens, releasing sharp gasps. Kenny, yes, baby, you're taking my cock so good. Kenny feels himself coming more undone with every thrust. She feels so warm and tight, and his name sounds so fucking good from her lips. Fuck, it's driving him crazy. The praise makes Ryan feel warm and fuzzy and not forming in her stomach. A needy whine from Ryan makes Kenny's hips snap, burying himself deeper, and he hits her cervix as she trembles, desperately yelling out, right there. Her hands move to his back, nails digging across his skin. Fuck, you're so tight. Kenny pants, feeling himself getting closer. His thrust starting to become sloppy as he focuses on hitting the same spot over and over. Kenny wraps her legs around Kenny's waist, taking him in deeper. Her heartbeat is slumping hard against her chest, and the knot twisting in her stomach. She doesn't know how to explain it, but it feels so good right now. Suddenly, the knot comes undone. Her body begins to tingle. A wave of pleasure hits her. A needy moan escapes her eyes, and her eyes roll back. Her orgasm makes her vision fade to black for a moment. Kenny! Watching her eyes roll back from pleasure and the hearing her scream his name, that sends him over the edge. He places his hand over her mouth to quiet her desperate shaking cries. He loses himself in pleasure, his hips pounding onto her ruthlessly. I'm coming. Kenny's muscles tighten as his cock starts pulsing as he finally releases his thrust slow while he rides out his high before pulling out of Ryan's throbbing cunt. Pulling out of Ryan, Kenny takes his hand off her mouth, setting it on her leg instead to feel her body quiver lately. You good, sweetheart? Wayne breathing is a little shaky. Her heart is still thumping hard in her chest. Yeah, I'm good. Kenny takes the condom off, nodding it and dropping it into the garbage next to his bed. He lays beside the girl and pulls her onto his chest, rubbing soothing circles on her back. Do you feel good? Wyatt nuzzles her nose against Kenny's chest, answering him honestly. After the pain went away, it felt really good, but now I feel a little sore. Sorry, I got a little carried away at the end. You got me really worked up. Kenny brings his hand up to tuck Wyan's loose hair behind her ear. It's okay, Wyan says, yawning. Did you feel good? Amazing, Kenny answers, kissing her forehead. Wyan smiles shyly, knowing she was the one to make him feel so good. Even with me not knowing what I was doing, it was your first time. I didn't expect you to know what to do. Don't worry. We'll have the rest of our lives to practice. Maybe next time you can practice riding me. Kenny winks at Wyan, making the girl flustered. Ride you? Wyan squeaks out. He wants me on top of him. You on top of me, bouncing on my cock, tits bouncing up and down. Fuck, that sounds so hot. Images flash through Kenny's mind of Wyan on top of himself. He can feel his dick getting hard at the thought alone. Kenny! Wyan smacking the boy's shoulder playfully. Why you have to say it like that? Kenny chuckles, grabbing Wyan's hips and rolling them over. Kenny is now laying on his back, and Wyan straddling his hips, laying on Kenny's chest. Wyan sits up, confused, her hands pressed against his chest, looking down at him. Kenny is loving the sight of her naked form above him, especially the way her boobs look pressed between her arms, 'cause the sight has me hard again. With flushed cheeks, Wyan glanced down to see Kenny's cock is hard again. She looks back into his beautiful violet eyes, seeing them stare at her with a lustful expression. Wyan bites down on the inside of her cheek, deciding to be bold. Just makes her feel so beautiful and attractive. This boy makes her feel so beautiful and attractive. She just wants to please him. Wyan wraps her hands around Kenny's cock, feeling how hard it is. A low groan leaves Kenny's lips, not expecting that. She has gotten him so worked up, now twice, without even trying. She strokes Kenny a few times, watching his grip the sheets tightly after feeling overstimulated. Fuck, Wyan. Kenny moans out. You like that? Wyan asks as innocently as possible. She can feel herself growing wet again at hearing Kenny's moan her name. Is this how he feels when I say his name? Kenny's face flushes a pink color and he moans. He will never understand how she can look at him so innocent when doing such dirty things to him. Fuck, yes. Kenny's eyes grew shut at the feeling of Wyan's wet tongue licking his cock. Wyan smiles, enjoying Kenny lose himself beneath her. Suddenly, Kenny flips them over, and he is on top of Wyan. He hugs his arms under her legs, pulling it up and leaning down and kissing and sucking on her thigh. Kenny, Wyan moans, enjoying the feeling. Yeah, sweetheart, you like that? Kenny teases her back. He finds it hot watching her squirming form. Yeah. Kenny drags his kisses closer to Wyan's dripping pussy. Once close enough, he gives it a long, slow lick. A desperate whine leaves her lips, encouraging Kenny to keep going. Both of them know it's going to be a long night with no sleep. Okay, I'm not reading anymore. This video is already an hour long. I am already really nervous when we hit 1,000 because I will have to read an entire book. So hopefully I find one. I might read one from the same author if they have any more books, because I really like how they write. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is a very long video, so I will keep this outro short. I hope you guys have drinking some water, eaten something, and taken the meds if you take your meds if you need to take them. Have a good morning, afternoon, and night, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!